So again, the emphasis has been really learn these four points. Yeah, they really like understanding and just thinking about these 4 points inside of the joints. Yeah, not the joint itself, but that muscle inside the joint. It really helps to hold and shape your frame that everything else is built on top. It's just really interesting. So the things we're talking about is want to be round. So if you learn to think and learn to move these muscles, just thinking about them after a while, you can feel these muscles want to move and flex. Yeah, all these four, it'll round your frame. Oh, I can put my I told you I'm getting shorter, yeah? So I buy pants and I don't remember the pants being that long before. So I walk around the house without shoes. I gotta roll up the cuffs. Yeah. And when you're walking, right? If you're standing or walking, yeah, take time to just think right inside. Again, it's inside of the joint. So if you feel the joint and you put your hands here, it's inside. And just thinking about these points, I can feel like if I'm like this, right? The feeling is, oh, if I were like this, just thinking about here, I can feel my body straighten out and center. It's a real interesting feeling. Yeah. And then you practice, like if you're reaching for something, you flex right in here. Like you need that little extra reach. You think over here as you're going, but when you go to reach, you practice. Right? Just flexing that muscle, just thinking about and flexing, and then you can feel your arms reach a little bit more. Right? And if you have to hold that, don't let this go. Because as soon as you let this go, right, that support ends. So if you have to hold that, you just kind of flex this. Any of you carrying grandchildren? Yeah. So you could try that there. The problem with carrying grandchildren is your arm is way over here. But there's still a little bit roundness, yeah? And sometimes, you have to do something with the other hand. So while you're doing that, you could practice, if you're holding one hand, just think about here. So it'll help you to drop that arm into place and it'll help to support that roundness. Yeah, just over here. Like for me, I really, yes? It so you have to think the inside the hip area supports the legs, right? So that's foundational, right? That's our stand, that's our foundation. Over here, that's where we're manipulating things, right? That's where we can do and perform, and we're doing all of this. This just grounds us. So just thinking about these 4 points, even if you're not flexing the muscles, the ligaments and tendons, it kind of centers you and it kind of holds that shape for you. So if you need to ground more, right? If you need more rooting, or you need to press into the ground more, or reach, whatever it is, yeah. If you flex this, it'll expand. So when you flex these muscles, it will expand outward. So the legs are expanding outward. So it depends what you want. But just thinking about this will kind of, you have that feeling where it'll just pull you back a little. And if you relax, everything can just sit on that. Yeah. So at the minimum, practice just thinking of just awareness. Yeah. And then the exercise is, try to flex, get those muscles to move. And then after a while, you just think about it and you feel like, your mind wants to activate those muscles. Yeah. But first you got to free up that joint, yeah? It doesn't know how to move, so you have to yeah, like I said, you have to be like Terry Crews, where you stand there and you practice bouncing your pecs, right? So, in private, in the shower, whatever, right? But yeah, if If you watch this hand, if I'm pressing in and it's not lifting here, it's just, so the joint is just inside where the fingers flatten out. And then we did that short demo experiment, right? If you do this, you feel strong, but you're not any stronger, right? And you're compressing the muscle. So when you look at bodybuilding, right, the holding poses, right? It's all flex. Sometimes it's that long, but somewhere in the body they're flexing. When they do bodybuilding, can they hold anything? They're not holding barbells, right? Because when you flex like this, you're stuck, right? They're locked into a pose. Right? Strongman contests, right? They cannot be flexing while they're holding something, but they might be locking something in, but the lower body has to move, right? Something has to move. But you can't go through life like this. So what happens after they do the pull or after they do the pulls, right? They're exhausted. Because it took all their energy, 100% of the energy, just to do that move for 5 seconds. So you can't do that all day long. But if you hold your arm like this and then you flex the muscle, it expands. That's what we want. So if your limbs are open, your joints are open, and you flex the muscle, they expand. Right? We can move them, right? We can do things. Now we can utilize that strength, that support, but we can move the joints. The joints are loose, right? But if you're doing poses like this, right? If you're coming out and you're going, don't talk to me. Hey, can you hold this ball for a little while? Are you crazy? I look strong. I'm showing all my muscles, but I can't really use them. So to use your muscles, you can't show, right? You can't do that. Right? So you flex. So if I'm standing here and my legs are flat on the ground and I flex this, they're going to press on top of the ground, technically, right? But you have to think they're sinking into the ground. But if I lift my heel, all of a sudden my joints are a little loose, right? So if I flex here, they'll expand, and because my heel is off the ground, it has some give, right? It has some flex, as opposed to touching down. So that feeling of sinking all over here will open, but over there has full contact, so full rooting, right? If I need that, if I'm holding something, I don't want this up, right? I want this down so that I have that 100% contact, but the rest of it is flexed. But if I'm developing, then I really want my ankles to be able to flex more, right? So then I lift my heels up, right? And then I can flex here, right? And then this will expand, right? And because I'm just kind of on this tipping point, right? I can hold that big expansion. But as soon as I put this down, this muscle I can feel it, yeah? So if I want to develop this muscle a little bit more, like I just need that resistance kind of strength, that's when we do the pangma. But I have to be relaxed. If I'm still doing this, I'm relaxed, and I still have a little bit of movement, yeah? And I still have to relax the bottom. Like right now, I'm pulling my toes up because this is really hurting. I have to relax my toes and everything. Yeah. So you have to think, okay, this is upper body, reaching, holding something. This is lower body, stable foundation. Unless you're playing foot fight, right? Then you line on your back, and then your legs are free, right? To pump and move and reach. So if I wanted to like push something away, right? If I activate this, then it's going to reach, right? Then I don't have any resistance, right? It'll just reach from there. So, you know, everything develops, right? The more refined you get, then the less concrete the yes or no is. And then when you get that real high level, it's like, oh, it's always yes and no. But there is no yes and no. Right? And then the beginning students who walk into your class look at you, and then they turn around and walk out, right? Because you said something that's just beyond everybody. Yeah. So, yeah, it's really hard. I'm sorry, I always give those kind of answers. But you think at the minimum, think about them, become aware, then just try to flex those muscles as softly as possible. You try to flex those muscles just to get them to work. And then as you play with that experiment, then you discover, oh, if I do this here, that helps me in this situation. Yeah, that kind of thing. But just try to, yeah, this is foundation. Okay? And then the rest of the things all apply, right? You think the top of your head, the center, and you move just back of center, right where the giddy is, right where that swirl is. And that's what's going to line up with your spine. So you imagine you pulling, like a string is pulling you up so that your body just suspends. So if your body suspends, right, then all the vertebrae are falling, right? Then all the joints are opening up. And then the hip, even in the chair, you try to swivel the hip forward a little bit so the tailbone tucks underneath. Yeah? Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, behind the upper palate. What that does, it helps to give that physical connection to enhance the energetic connection of the chi flowing up and down. Yeah? So you're just trying to do everything you can to enhance the experience. Okay? And then bottom of the feet relaxed, shoulders down, elbows in front of the body. These are all guidelines. Yeah? But if you think about these 4 points, if you think about here, then the elbows tend to come forward. So the guidelines become indicators, like, oh wait, I'm not doing something right. Yeah? Oh, think here. Okay, it comes forward. Okay, all right. So, oh, and then I want your feet in front of your knees. So remember, now it's start with your feet out like this. Right? Extend your legs, and then slowly walk them back, just where it touches the ground, right? And that's where we want the legs. Then your feet will fall forward. Then your legs will fall and open up. Okay. All right, so just hang your, just hang your arms at the side. Good. And feel if your arms are hanging straight down, or if they're allowed to swing forward a little bit. Feel if your elbow is bent. Right? The elbow should be a little bent. And relax. Open your throat. And as you're trying to be aware of what your arms are doing, think inside here and see if that corrects and that adds to that frame. That roundness. So you start having that roundness right this way. And then relax your hips and start thinking inside of the hip and relax the legs. So if you think of here, see if you can feel this falling as you relax the legs, let it expand and fall, and just hold that. So hold those 4 points in your mind, and then take a deep breath while you're gently holding those 4 points, and come up and start gathering. And exhale, directing the chi with the center of your palm, with the tips of your fingers. Nice, slow, deep breath, thinking way up in the sky, way up among the stars, and gathering and pouring that energy through the top of your head, gently guiding it down through the spine, through the legs into the earth. As the energy flows into the earth, the chi, it displaces the earth chi, so the earth chi rises around you. So as you gather, you're gathering the earth chi and the chi from way above. Sink your mind into the ground and imagine you pulling the chi up. Relax your legs so that they sink into the earth. Come up from the back, over the top of your head, down the front of your body. Right? They call these microcosmic circles. The microcosmic cycle. So microcosmic means like your world, right? Your world imitating the universe. So if you can imitate the universe, then you're going to blend into the universe, right? You don't stand out. So then you understand how the universe works, how physics works, how nature works. Right? Then you can just flow easily. Right? You're not fighting nature. And then you just learn how to manipulate it, right? Without fighting. Come up from the side, looking out at the mountain. Especially here. As your arms extend, just thinking, being aware of those front joints of your shoulders. So even when you come here, right, you lose that leverage, but just being aware of it will just hold the smallest bit of roundness, even when you fully extend. Breathing in and out, and then scooping down. And then imagine you pouring chi into every muscle of your body. Deep breath. Squeeze and press and exhale. Twist. Slowly let go. Just imagine all that chi rushing back in. And then focus inside of the bones, squeezing all the chi through every bone of your body. Imagine your bones twisting, squeezing, and then letting go. And all that chi rushing back in. And then ligaments and tendons. And slowly let go. So as you let go, all the chi and blood rushes back into those cells. And then letting everything center. Just taking a few breaths, closing your eyes. Just let everything go. Let all the tension go. Hold those 4 points. A little awareness as you hold those 4 points. Release all the tension in your facial muscles. Just let it drop. Let your lower belly expand as you breathe in and open the throat. Let everything go. And slowly turn your palms forward. Put a little bit more thought into the front of your shoulders. Opening your palms, opening your fingers. Feel the elbows rounded. Feel the front of the shoulders rounding. Expand the legs into the earth a little bit more and slowly open the eyes. Throat is open. And when you're ready, start breathing in. And slowly, as you pick up your hands, slowly flex that front of the shoulders a little bit more and then relax it. Just thinking about it. Just thinking, but letting go of the muscles. And now is when you slowly start flexing. You hold that and then slowly let it go. Still thinking about it, but letting the muscle go, that physical energy. And then begin again, breathing in. And out, tilt the sternum up. And just let the head fall. Let the neck open and let the neck pull on the spine so it pulls all the way down to the tailbone. Go at your own speed. Just listening to your body. Don't worry about anything else. Just take your time. One more time. Okay, number 2, one hand up, one hand down. Okay, so remember as we turn, you're going to look at either the top fingers or beyond, but you're going to hold your mind here. Okay, so the hand that's down, this is the side. As we turn, you gently hold this and flex it just a little bit. This side, you just look. Okay, so begin breathing in. And when you're ready, exhale. The bottom hand rolling that ball up through the forearm, and right where the palms meet, you start breathing in. Okay, now you're holding this side. The upper hand has to let go, just thinking about it, but don't flex those muscles. Breathing in, turn the head. So they're neutral, and then you breathe in and you think of the shoulder the hand is falling, or the front of the shoulder. And last time. And come back to center when you're done. Right in front of the throat, right? Neutral. And down. So as you come down, you're just thinking of those 4 points. It's really light, but you're just aware of those 4 points. Right? So you're just like that, just at 1% or even less than 1%. Okay? And this one is, you're still thinking of those points, but this one you allow it to stretch. Yeah? So squeeze. And holding that stretch and coming forward and down, all the way down. Forward. So while you're doing this, make sure your legs are expanded. Don't let go of your legs. You keep that expansion into the earth with your feet. All the way down. Relax a little bit when you're done, and then do one side. Keep your spine upright. Just focusing on squeezing and stretching those muscles all around your shoulder, under the shoulder blade, the front of the shoulder where the collarbone is. Really feel what's going on under the shoulder blade. Then come forward. The other side, just let it follow. All the way down, relax, and then do the other side. Remember to let the arm bend at the elbow. Oh, if anybody needs cheap toys for the kids, S7 Icy Bubble. All the way down and come forward. The schools are starting their parent-teacher conference. So, the school where my granddaughter is, they get out at 12:30. Like, wow. So I took her to Kumon at the shopping center, and S7 Icy Bubble opened up a location there, so they're having their little promotion, yeah. Squeeze all the way down. Okay, relax a little bit when you're done, and then do two sides back to front. All the way down and front to back. And that's the place I bought my $40 massage gun. Yeah, It's all this made in China materials, items. So if you go online, it retails for like 180 or something. And it's a good gun. But interesting enough, the back is a touch screen, so when you hold it, you can't hold the back of the gun because you continuously turn it off. Okay, relax. So when we do this one, right, you just gently hold these places, and it's really subtle. When you come up, right, you're going to flex a little bit more, and then you're kind of holding it here, and then it releases. Right, and right over here, your arm turns. So you're just holding it, right? There's just that little bit of flex holding it, right? It doesn't fall all the way down. It's continuously rounded. But as your arms rotate like this, you can feel, like if you hold one side, you press here and you turn your hand like this, right? You can feel this muscle moving. So even though you're holding this frame, this roundness, this muscle is moving, right, as you're turning. So you can feel that in different places you could flex more or you can flex less. Yeah. Even if you never change the angle of this and it's just rotating around your elbow. Yeah. So I love this move. As simple as this move looks like, you can practice everything. You can keep the legs expanded, keep the top of your head supported from above. Right? Like over here, you can pretend you're going to reach, so you could flex this a little bit more, and then you could let it go, right? And down here, like you could pretend like you're going to reach this way. So if you wanted to, you could flex this a little bit more, and then it'll round it. You'll feel this rounding come out. Yeah. Or you could just try and hold a constant flex, the same pressure during the whole time. And then you can add the turn of your waist. You can see if you can gently turn your waist, still holding those 4 points and seeing what that does. This simple little movement has everything in it. And then don't forget the concept of Sung. Right? Within everything, there's that relaxing. I'm trying to figure out if Sung is like a little bit of Sung, even 0.1% is there 100% of the time, or if there's times where you just let it go. But I think even when you want full power, you have to have the concept of Sung somewhere to release. It's like if we send a rocket ship up to the moon, or the boat, right? The huge boat leaves the pier, and somebody forgets that last rope that ties it to the pier. It's like saying, oh, we don't need Sung, right? We don't have to let go of anything. Disaster happens. Yeah. And relax. Okay, then hold the ball, we move to the spine. Yeah. See, funny, huh? I can do grandparent children stories while we're exercising. So we go inside and she finds the box of toy animals, you know, the plastic animals, and she's playing with all of them. And I said, you know, if I buy something, I can get a free gift. It's those little rainbow cards that are blacked out, and you scratch the black off, right? And I think, oh, I don't know. They said one. I don't know if it's one card or whatever. So I said, oh, okay, take a deep breath, expand, and relax. Remember to roll that ball through the forearm. And right where the palms pass, you start breathing in. But the first one, just normal breathing. So she's playing with all the animals on the shelf, right? She's having her own time. They're talking to each other. And I said, which one you want? Oh, I like all of them. I said, you can only buy one. I look at the box, it says $7.99. I figured that's not bad. You know, you go to Tinker Toys, they're like $12, $15, some $20. So we take it to the counter. Yeah? Take a deep breath, expand. And now continuous breathing. Yeah? And the boy says, oh, I think it's 99 cents one, and think, oh, I got a deal. And the other boy goes, oh no, you have to buy the whole box. And I'm thinking, wait, I think the whole box is $7.99. So I looked at my granddaughter, I said, oh, you locked out. So we bought the whole box. And the difference is, if you go to Tinker Toys, it's like solid plastic, right? They weigh like 5 pounds. But these are hollow inside. But the kids don't care. And I sure don't care, because if they get lost. So hold your knees straight. Yeah, exhale. Yeah, rolling that ball through the forearm. And keeping your mind on those 4 points. Nice deep breath. Take your time to finish. Yeah, if you're not sure where that finish is, just take another breath. Yeah. Okay, and then our spirals. So turn the palm and drop the elbow in. And you have to turn your body. And still holding those 4 points. And lift and fall. Right? If you hold those 4 points, you start getting really rounded. And breathe in. And then exhale to release. Turn your body. And turn your body and breathe in. And lift and exhale. And right here when you wind up, breathe in. And then exhale. Then breathe in. Close to you. And exhale. Let the head turn at the end. Breathe in and exhale. Yeah, just take your time. And come back to center when you're done. Right in front of the heart. Okay, so do your heart Qigong. Sun in the chest. Warm and cool. Putting out energy to the whole body. Or wherever you need it. Just thinking about those 4 points. Just seeing and imagining the sun floating and rolling around inside your chest. Do one more and come back. Okay, press one leg down. So remember, don't think about picking up the leg, right? Sink. And then when you feel it release, oh, that's the time to pick up the leg. Right, then sink until this releases. Yeah, take your time. It's real interesting. If you find it, it's like, oh, you just feel it bounce up. So when you feel it bounce up, if you hold that, right, it's like the leg is floating. But as soon as you take 1% of your mind off of holding this down, right, it starts, oh, okay. I thought she had the chair where the bar came off. I was going to stand up and throw myself under the chair and rescue her. Okay. Watching too many Korean dramas. I'll save your life no matter what. Okay, so just for a little while, right, just practice sinking into one side, right, nice and straight, and put all your mind in one side and press that and flex that, and then one time just sink, just feel your whole body sink into there until this side releases, right? And just pick it up a little bit, and then put that side down and just slowly transfer, right? And then pressing into here and then sinking until this side releases. See if you can feel the other side releasing. Yeah? But the focus is, and then just back and forth. So even if it's just a little pump of your heel, just to practice that joint, yeah? Sinking. Yeah? You want the bigger effect, you stand. Right? Because if I stand, right, then I can fold as much as I need to, right? I can, even if I have to do this to discover where that is, right, I can do that. Okay, but be safe, of course, when you stand. But it's still there in the chair. Yeah. Okay, so relax that for a little while. Just kind of shake that out a little bit, and then we begin with the hands. So right here, you're just holding this, right? 2 hands, still holding that frame, right? And down. And just releasing light, just thinking about it. Right? And then right here you can feel where you need to flex a little bit, right? And it expands upwards and outwards a little bit. Right? And right here you're just holding that frame, right? It rounds. Right? And then you let go of the muscle, but just think of that point. And so one more time before we pick up the leg. Breathing in and out. And so if you're just holding this will become light. Okay, so with the leg, right, so it doesn't matter which side you sink, right? Sink into one side. And then when this releases, that's when you begin. Right? Stepping up and forward, right? Hold that, hold that. When you touch down, now transfer. Press until it releases. Up and down. Now transfer. Yeah, just take your time. Yeah, don't worry about going same speed as me. Right? Step when you feel it release. Feel for that release. So if everybody is different, that's fine. I'd rather everybody be going at a different speed and listening to yourself, right? Trying to discover that. Yeah, the more you do it, you can feel your butt kind of lift, yeah, a little bit, because you start activating these muscles more. You really start committing to that muscle. But you don't feel the glutes tighten, right? You just feel it activate. Yeah. So just focusing on those points, flexing them, you can feel how other muscles are activated. But they can move. You watch Chinese Kung Fu movies, there's always the theme of the foreigners and coming into China, right? So there's constant fight scenes where they challenge, right? Because the foreigners have taken over Shanghai or whatever, and then they have these martial arts boxing matches, and they always get the biggest, strongest, whether they're martial artists or some kind of pugilist, and then they have that one guy, right? And you can't overpower them because they're muscle men, and they always show internal, right? They win by internal, and that's what all this is about. Right? Last one, do one more, and then we'll come back to center. And open and close. So, in those fight scenes, right, it's soft and internal against hard and external. The two mountains turn, right? And they just beat themselves up until they grind, right? It's attrition. So you have to be patient, right? You have to be like the water. Every time it rains, right, that water goes down, some of it erodes, right? Bit by bit, some of it soaks inside, makes the inside softer, right? Until the crack appears. And then we don't have it in Hawaii. Well, we do have it in Hawaii in certain places, right? So during winter, right, the water drips down into the crack, freezes, expands. Slowly it expands that crack, thaws, freezes, expands, right? Works its way down. And so that's what this is. It's understanding nature, not fighting against things by resistance, right? You're strong, I gotta be stronger than you. Yes, but you gotta be smarter. To be stronger, you gotta be smarter. Right? You cannot just look at that kind of strength. Where is that strength important? It's not important so much up here, it's important underneath the floor, right? Nobody thinks how strong that is. So you look at those trees, those big kiawe trees in Kapiolani Park. Over the last, 5 years, we've had those big windstorms. How many trees have toppled? I think Ross and we went one time to look. We were practicing in the park and we walked over. And you think like, how could those big trees topple, right? You assume the roots are going way down. And when you looked underneath, you realize, oh my God, that's right, we're sea level. It's all sand. The roots spread out like this, right? They're in sand. So that big wind came, that big, gigantic tree that's supposed to provide stability actually became a huge wind sail, right? And there really wasn't great rooting on the ground because it didn't sink down, it just spread out into sand. Yeah, the whole thing just peeled right off. Just really amazing to look at that and realize what's underneath from there. Our teacher used to say, oh, there's always a bigger mountain. There's some saying in Chinese, right? There's always a higher mountain. And then when we get old, I told you I'm getting shorter, right? Oh, those mountains getting taller. Well, my baby is growing that way, I'm going this way. Yeah. Okay. What's next? Okay, we did the stepping. So, where are we? We're hips. Okay, so we're going to drop one knee, right? We're going to drop one knee, relax, but just think about that side, right? Because if you think about this side and expand, then it's going to stretch it out this way. Right? Or this side is just neutral. Right? So if you don't do anything, it's just gravity. But if you think a little bit more and flex here, then it's going to expand out this side. So if you want a little bit more stretch, then expand, because this warm-up is for hips. Our pelvic joints are hip area. Okay, so hold the ball, right? Drop one knee, turn the opposite way, right? So the focus is not up here, right? The mind is here. Expand here while you reach. And then come back, bring the knee back, drop the other knee, turn the opposite. So the expansion is here while you turn and reach, right? And so this will stretch the joint, and the upper body will be free to move, right? So mind here, the mind is here, right? Flexing there, relax. Yeah. Doesn't make sense when you first think about it, right? Like, hey, we're focusing on the wrong part, right? But it works. One more each side, just to kind of test that out. And come back to center. Okay, hands on the side. So again, lifting up one leg, right? So sinking until the leg picks up, right? Holding that until that leg steps down, and then trying to smoothly transition to the other side. So think of sinking, and then, oh, the leg's free, right? Okay, and begin when you're ready. Just sink one side until one side releases. And opposite hand, and holding that in the joints. Just stretch the heel out, push the knee down, stretch the back of the knee, then lift. Right, and then holding that. And then transferring, waiting for that knee to lift. Stretch just all the way, push that knee down a little, and then lift. And just breathe naturally. You breathe naturally, then the pattern will come out by itself. Throat is open. And so the higher you want to pick up this leg, the more you have to sink and press into here. Okay, and then in foot, and then lift. You can do it. Oh, I had to tell that to my granddaughter the other day. Oh, she did not want to go to her after school. I said, oh, if you don't go, we're both going to get scoldings. Oh, poor thing. You know, as an elementary school teacher, right, there's nothing sadder than a child who does not stop crying, right, no matter what. But after years of DOE, I can deal with it. Not quite as emotional as before, but it's like, oh. But just at the point where the dad sent me a text message that said, oh, that's, you know, if she doesn't want to go, you can come back. Right at that point, I'm not looking at my phone. She finally walked over the classroom door. I thought, ah. I said, I'll just wait in the side room out of view, just in case she panics. But yeah, she finally got it on. 5. Just past 5, yeah. There. Okay, pull the heels up. Right, so this one, you could experiment flexing and see what happens, but you can see that, right, this kind of movement, we're trying to draw the heels up, is a little different. It's folded, so it's rounded. So if you flex a little bit, right, that's going to pull the legs up this way. But really, you have to put almost everything. So you just have to hold this frame and put everything into pulling that heel up. And then when you pull that heel up, then you can feel how you could activate here. It just kind of automatically does it. Yeah. It's like playing with Legos. Right? I give you a box of 5,000 Legos. But I tell you, those 4 corners, right? Don't ignore those 4 corners. If you get those 4 corners correct, and you build around those 4 corners on the bottom, you can build anything on top of it. Yeah? You could have a branch going way out if you build the 4 corners correct. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let your legs come out, kind of shake that out a little bit. And then slowly walk your feet back in. Try to hold your legs straight, your knees straight. Just relax, let everything go. When you let everything go, you should feel your feet pull up a little bit. And you don't want to slump when you let it go, so you're still holding it. Okay, check if your chin is up like this, let it fall, and pull your head back a little. So some people will say tuck the chin in. But remember, these are indicators. Really what we want to do is we want to pull from here, which will cause your chin to fall back and to align. Yeah. Open your throat nice and deep. Float your hands up and rest them on your lap. So now you have that nice round frame. Tip of the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And then we're going to take a break on the set. I haven't done these for a long time. We're going to do some healing Qigong, some meditation. Yeah? Really simple to do. Yeah? And then hopefully I'm recording it and I get it out. I have it in other places, you just have to find them. Okay, so bring your hands together like prayer hands. And the whole structure is always there, right? Just holding these 4 points, sun in the chest, warm and cool, connected to the sun in the sky. Project from the heart, right? Smile into the heart, warm it up. And then project that smile outwards. Yeah, relax. Everything is always there. It doesn't change. That's the foundation of what we're doing. Yeah, so, and real gently, just touching. And then remember the fingertips. The fingertips are really important. The center is heart, tip is heart. So you want to take 3 deep breaths, right? You have to open the throat, expand the lower belly, a full breath of air. Let it expand a little bit more, and then when you exhale, and then squeeze all that air out. So we're going to take 3 breaths like that. So again, breathe in, let it all out. Take a deep breath in, let it all out. Take a 3rd deep breath, let it all out. And then breathe normally. Okay, so legs extended out a little bit, right? Activating this just a little bit, keeping this rounded. So you open your palms, like you're opening a book, right? And then flex inside here, so this swivels up, fingertips connecting. Then it presses down and comes forward. Right? So it's going to be down and it'll start to sweep forward just before the left hand goes in front. Okay, so you go opposite from me. Your left hand will go forward. And then I'll go same side as you. So your left hand, right, same side as me. And then the left hand and the right hand will come here. The palm will turn and your right hand will sweep in front of your face. Just like a windshield wiper, it's just going to sweep in front of your face, but your left hand will end up underneath the palm. And then it's going to switch. So as it switches, you see how the palms are washing each other, right? Right? So this is washing the outside, this is washing the inside. And then your right hand will just go underneath. So they're just going to exchange. Okay, so one more time from here. You just open. And they swivel up, fingertips just lightly touching. If they don't touch, that's fine. And sinking down, and then your left hand comes forward. It comes across. The right hand comes up, and the left hand ends up under the elbow. Okay. And then you switch from there. Yeah. And then the right hand ends up under the elbow. Okay, so then it's going to go halfway. You just make an X, and then from here you swivel, and then your right hand is going to make a big circle like this, and then come here. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, your left hand. Yeah, you start with your left hand, you pick up the whole arm, the palm turns, and you let the forearm come out, right? Big circle, and it rests just under your belly button. Just rest right in the center of your palms, lined up with your belly button. Okay. On the other hand, your right hand is height of your heart, right? We want to emphasize heart. Okay, and then the right hand makes a circle. And the only difference is the forearm doesn't need to open. So it's going to look smaller, but it's because the forearm doesn't open up. This is the same. So this circles, it still turns, and let the body turn, and then the right hand is going to end up on top. Fingers overlap, and then the thumbs lightly touch. Okay, and that's it. And you do this 18 times if you can, or as many times. Yeah. And then you just repeat. So you repeat, you come here. I like to take at least one breath and then begin. So you open, right? You swivel, Okay, you go same side as me. Right, your left hand comes out. Right, your right hand turns. Right, the left hand ends up under the right elbow. Right, you finish there, and then you switch. Right, you're washing the outside and the inside. Okay. Then the right hand ends up under the elbow, and then you come halfway. So that's the first one. And the second one, come halfway, swivel. Right in front of the heart, and your left hand opens. Big circle. And then your right hand, the forearm is just smaller. So right on top of left, and then thumbs. And just relax. Yeah, let this sit. Right, my belly button is here. I'm resting here. I'm lined up with my tantian. Okay. And then you repeat again. Okay, so you go same side as me. Right, I'm going to mirror you. Right, so we're starting out with the left. Okay. Just take your time. Right, soft and gentle. Good. And you can let your body turn a little bit. Just let it naturally turn. Come center, swivel. Right, then left hand circles. Then right hand. Resting on top. Okay, so if you go back to my older videos and I have a little change, don't worry about it. Right? That's what happens, right? I don't do it for a long time and I'm trying to mirror. Sometimes the dyslexia comes out just the way it is. Yeah, but the main thing, you take your time, right? You think of your heart, right? And then as you start memorizing it, see if you can do it where you close your eyes. So even in here, right, you're just thinking of these 4 points to hold that frame. Oh, I'm sorry. I can see when I let go, the left hand comes up first. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is the correct. The left hand comes up first. And the right. Ah, there, now, yeah. Now the outside hand is doing this. Okay. And just breathe naturally. Smile, inner smile. Release all the tension from your face. Take at least one breath in between. Your left hand sweeps first. Yeah, that feels better. Then the right hand. And come to center. Both palms facing the heart. And then the right hand makes a big circle. The forearm opens up larger. comes to rest, and then the right hand, your right hand. From the shoulder, it's a big circle. From the forearm, it's a smaller circle. Left on the bottom, your left on the bottom. Smile. Do one last time. You finish before everybody else. You just hold that meditation in the center with the prayer palm while we wait for everybody to end. Just remember, we're mirroring each other, so same side as me. Okay, take a deep breath again, 3 deep breaths. Let it all out. Take a second deep breath. Let it all out. Take a third deep breath. Let it all out. Slowly let it go. Breathe normally. Okay, rub your hands together. Move your legs around. So this is one of many healing meditations that you can do. So yeah, sorry when I did it the first time, the hand that came up first was wrong. So and then when we ended, I felt like, oh, the wrong hand is ending. I could feel like something was wrong. Yeah, so when you come down, it like a gentle resistance. It's like pressing a small little ball in water. Right? It's floating, and then you gently guiding it down, and then it sweeps forward. So when you're sideways, you can see that angle. And it sweeps forward, and then the left hand comes out. And then the left hand comes here. So the right, your right hand is underneath like this. Okay, ends up in this position here. Yeah? And then the right hand, your right hand comes up, right? It's washing the outside with the center of the palm. And the left hand falls, right, into position. And then it goes center. Right? So wrist over wrist. And then it just swivels. Right? Now it's both centers are supporting the heart, so palm over palm. And then your left hand is on the outside. So that's like, oh, I was doing it on the inside, like something's wrong. So the whole arm picks up, the palm comes out, and then it opens up from the elbow, makes a big circle. Right? Then it rests right in the center of the palm. Then the right side makes a big circle, but the forearm, the elbow doesn't open up. The elbow stays smaller. So it looks like a smaller circle if you're only looking from the palm. Yeah, there. And then it rests here. So I'm doing all your side, yeah? So when I do it by myself, I have to make sure I reset to the left hand. And this is just the first one. There's a whole series, and usually I don't really have permission to teach all of them, so I just show one or two. I figure that's safe. So far, I haven't gotten punished. So you can have the one or two, and I show one or two. But even that, once you get it, right? This one is really simple. So once you get the sequence, like the way I learned it, right? I think I get it. When I think I got it, I go back and look at the video, and then I make that next correction, like, oh, right, wrong hand, or too big or too small, or this needs to turn. I start looking for all those small little things, and when I think I got it memorized, and I look at the video, oh wait, another small turn, right? And then I'm looking at posture. And the original is actually sitting cross-legged. But you don't have to be lotus or half lotus, you can just do cross-legged. So I can't tell you why, but I get the ideal where this was designed was cross-legged. So if you sit cross-legged, the way I do it is you want to sit on a cushion, and you decide like how high the cushion is, and that way your legs will fall. Same thing, it'll cause your legs to fall. But if you just try to sit flat, right? Oh, for me that's a little too much. But if you raise yourself, then the legs will fall. This will expand again, right? You have that nice roundness from there. Yeah. So in general, we just refer to them as moving meditations because you're coming up. But if you're doing this with conjunction with everything else, you might, at some point, you might feel like, oh, you get that little buzz. Yeah, it's really interesting, and you think, simple little meditation, yes.
Like you were demonstrating just now, you're not sitting on the back of your chair.
Oh yeah, I'm always...
You're right. So, and I was trying to sit up straight using my back of the chair.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And it's really hard to raise your leg and all that.
Yeah, so she was... Yeah. So you want to sit... Yeah, you know, it's always safety, right? It's always safety. So you do what's comfortable for you. So we start from there. Right? So yeah, you don't want to be leaning back. You don't want to be using this to prop. Right? You want to be sitting forward at least a little bit.
All the way back.
Yes. So I always have a space. Right? I always have a space here. My habit is I tend to sit in the front. And like I said, this habit started in intermediate school, playing music. And I played French horn, and French horn you're holding like this, right? So my feet positions would be like this. Just because of the way we held the bell and such. But when I learned the Qigong, what they said for Qigong is, because you look at your chakra, right? Your energy center, central channel coming down. So your root channel, you don't want to be smashing and closing your root channel. You want it to be open. So if you're seated, they'll say, sit in the front to try and open that. Right? Open the perineum about there. So I had a little head start, like, oh, that's not uncomfortable for me because I'm already sitting. But safety, right? Yeah, so you sit in the middle of the chair, that's fine. Right? I don't want you sitting on the front and then one time, I told you my girlfriend fainted off the chair, yeah? So, yeah, so you don't want to be leaning. You try to keep a space, but comfort, safety is number one. So if this is safe for you, that's fine. But even if I sit back here, right, I don't want to lean, I want to still sit straight. So, right? say, this is not comfortable. Yeah? Trying to shove my back so I feel the back. So I can sit here and I can just feel the chair, and if I sit straight, I actually still separate from here. Yeah. So if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to like get one of these postures, alignments, and it's just uncomfortable, you gotta let it go. Yeah. So when I was learning troubleshooting, my technician said, Randy, 3 times it doesn't work, let it go. Right? And like, oh yeah, because then you just, why doesn't it work? So let it go, look at something else. And sometimes it just self-corrects, right? Because you release, and then you come back and look at it and you're more relaxed and like, oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, in general, try to keep a space, relax. So if you're like this, right? So you try that, just relax like this, okay? And then slowly, right? You can either think pulling up from here or even from here, just slowly align one vertebrae at a time, working up your back, right? So shoulders have to be relaxed, right? So if you start from down here, yeah, let this be relaxed, and then just slowly unfold, let everything sit. And from here, and right when you think you're just about straight, try to swivel your hips down. Your body's going to drop a little bit as you swivel your hips down. And right about there. Yeah. If you're relaxed and you feel good, you're in the right position. If it doesn't feel comfortable, right, you're in the wrong position. So you're always searching for what's more comfortable. Yeah. And if you cannot find it, after 3 times, let it go. I have to remind myself that every day, multiple times a day, like, I'm on number 4, let it go. Yeah, it's not easy. There. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah. If you have questions, you're at home and you think, oh, it's this, you write it down. You gotta write it down. Yeah, or have a little notebook. Right now, all the notebooks are on sale. All the comp tablets, the marble tablets, all on sale. Yeah, when they're 50 cents, I bought a whole bunch. Crazy, I don't need them, but I bought a whole bunch from Long's because I found a stack. They're all like, what was it? It was 50 cents or 25 cents? I couldn't refuse. And brought them home. Asked my granddaughter, "You want one?" If she didn't take one, I was gonna be like, "Oh shoots!" She took one, so I can feel like, see? All right, bring the hands up. So loosen the spine, kind of shake the body a little, loosen the spine so you can expand. Take a nice deep breath and smile and let everything go. One more time. Expand, wiggle, loosen the spine, shake everything out, and let everything go. Let everything go and let the palms come together. Forehead, take a breath. Just imagine you're breathing out of the forehead. And then throat. Open the throat. Breathing out of the throat. And then heart. Smiling and breathing out of the heart. Breathing out of all 3 areas, the forehead, the throat, and the heart. And slowly let it go. Okay. Yeah, if you're standing and you're doing this, you would come as far down as you could, then you can get the back of your legs. Yeah, but on the chair, you just start from the side. Okay. Okay. Extend the legs out and see if you can gently touch your ankle and the inside. Yeah, and you have to fold in a little bit and just rest your hands on your knees and just let them swivel. But keep those 2 points just lightly connected. Yeah. So loosen up the hip. Yeah, just let it swivel. So your ankles are touching, stimulating the kidneys. Yeah. When this over here is touching, if you imagine that chi flowing up, it's helping to pull that chi up your body. Okay, all right, relax. Okay, right hand, left hand. Your right hand opposite from me. Your right hand, left hand. All right, thank you everybody. Have a good week, have a good day. Oh, the bell, the bell. Oh, okay, sorry. The bell. See, I'm sitting in front, I couldn't see the bell, right? Okay, so we'll end with the bell meditation. All right. So extend the legs out, walk them back gently. Just rest your hands. You know, on the meditations, if you want to do prayer hands, if you want to do this one, you can. Yeah, if you want to hold Qigong, you can, right? As long as you relax. So, but and you can even put the palm down. It's a different feeling. You can feel when the palm is down, it's like you release. But when the palm is up, it's just that fuller, rounder feeling. Yeah, so I tend to like palm up, but it's like if you're really stressing, you need to let everything go. Let the palm go down. Yeah, it's like it's flowing that energy down. Yeah. So experiment with how you do it. What you do. Okay, lightly close your eyes. Throat is open, sun in the chest, warm and cool, connected to the sun in the sky. Just gently putting out energy to your whole body. You can let your body direct where that chi goes, or you can gently think about where you want that healing energy to go. Any distractions, acknowledge it, and then bring yourself back to your meditation. Gently add the small of your back, just thinking of the small of your back to whatever you're doing. Just thinking of that point. Okay, slowly open your eyes. Yeah, and then come up. Then down. Okay. You know, we had I was at this Lazy Beach Day up at Kamehameha campus. They hosted it, and at the end they like to put on, when they gather everybody back, they're doing a science magic show, and they're showing sound. So sound is vibration. Yeah. So we're talking about, oh, if you're up on the moon, do you have sound? Not in between, because there's no air. There's no air to vibrate. So one of the demos was he was playing a singing bowl, and then he took out this small little box, looked like a small little jewelry box. I thought he was going to bring out a ring or something. And it was the tiniest singing bowl I've ever seen. And he actually played it. Like, wow, I want that. I don't know how big it was. He was holding it. It was a tiny little thing, and like, wow. Really nice. All right, thank you, everybody. Yeah, please be safe. I know it was raining earlier, and at least it finally was cool last night.